It's entirely free. I'm not gonna force you. But anyways, today we're gonna be talking about changing with honesty. And I feel like that's a term that might go on for a long while because even with me thinking or planning for this video, I feel like really being honest and sort of doing stuff for clout is completely two different things. Now, me subjectively, I look at media like everybody else, and we see certain stuff which might seem appealing or might seem a bit stupid, and there's certain things that you gotta understand with stupidity. Let's, for example, something like I don't know, Sneeko. You know, that's someone who had like an uprising through like certain content that was actually quite mature, quite friendly, something that is quite nice to use on. Until he started getting a bit too deep in with like opinions and all that other stuff, which I'm not gonna lie, for a small channel, I can't talk much, of course. But success is also like a virtue. You gotta understand certain people do stuff because it's just an aesthetic, a certain please, and you can't take it too seriously. Like for instance, if someone is, you say like Andrew Tate is like a massive bad guy. Like I get it, everybody has their own opinions, and I'm not disagreeing with any of that. But when you see somebody with like a high following, you got to think, okay, they got into that certain point because of the personality that they made for themselves, this persona. Whether they destroyed their whole life for this persona is entirely up to them. Do they feel like it's completely draining them? Because if so, then they just might as well retire or just stop. There's certain people that, messed up their fame for certain things that they just didn't need. They just didn't need. And that's one of the things that, like, kind of get over your head, Like, sometimes you think a lot of the time, right? Like, when somebody makes something, like they're being like a bit too honest. With me, I feel like it's a matter of just persona. Like I feel like it's also BS, a lot of BS, especially with like Marlon, for instance. Like Marlon, that face fucking dude on like on camera and whatnot on TikTok. That guy for me is like a whole other BS. Like to me, I find it such I don't know, not stupid content, but in a way, it's like something that is completely like dishonest. Well, not everybody's gonna act that way or somehow be that way, but then you build this persona that not everybody recognizes you as. Like for me, for instance, right, when I started doing like TikTok and stuff, I was thinking of only just doing like fashion. I didn't know exactly what to do because I felt like I was gonna get judged either way. Like imagine just being like a light skin on the internet. You're gonna get bloody like judged all the time, bro. Like there's no way you're not gonna escape from that fate. Like literally, I had hate comments off the rim, of purely doing nothing, off of doing nothing. Like I stood there, I was thinking to myself, like, ooh, this is tricky, because how am I supposed to get people to like me? The reality is nobody's ever gonna like you. Well, I mean not every single person, if you get what I'm trying to say, but there's gonna be people that are going to enjoy what you do, and some people are not going to. That's end of. Whether for me it was meaningful or something that's just like an ego boost, I also felt like it was a bit draining. Because at the end of the day, I'm just doing simple shit for no reason. And I felt like it wasn't for a good reason either. So I was just like, okay, you know what? Let me focus on something that's a little bit more generalized in the sense that I can sort of benefit and sort of support like an audience. I hate just posting a video of just my face and that's it. Like I don't think that's helping anybody to be honest. Like face man videos or something that completely get me off guard. Like I understand if you're a celebrity and you're showing off like where you're at and all that other stuff. Like I get that. Like that's completely different from a face man video. But it's like certain people gotta understand where it's like for me, at least when it came to that sort of stuff, because I used to do that. I used to do that when Capri was doing that sort of shit. I used to do that when a lot of people were doing that. But then I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just dial it down and figure out what I truly want. Like, as much as like I want to obviously, build a certain persona, I want to be honest with myself so it's not draining. Like I want to enjoy the thing I'm doing and not sort of tire myself out with BS that I just don't mean. There's a lot of people out there like Marlon or even Capri that sometimes they do stuff for clout and then sometimes they're being honest and then sometimes it just gets out of hand because one other side is not taking it seriously and then the other side is taking it seriously. Then some people might see the non-serious side and start hating for no reason. And that's another thing that you got to realize, like certain stuff that you put on the media might just stay there if you just don't remove it quick enough. And for me, I felt like I just needed to like wipe out my whole account like beforehand, like ages ago. But this was a long time ago. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just do a hope call thing because I hate just sort of doing nothing for no reason. Like I hate doing stuff for no reason. I had to like build an idea of what I wanted to do. So then I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just start off with hope call. I like talking about real things with my friends. So why shouldn't I not do the same with the internet? Like I feel like even with that, a lot of my friends even now they don't have time to be talking about that sort of stuff, which is sad, but can't change that. So for me, I feel like the need to go on camera and just talk about it. Like yeah, on my spare time, I do a lot of fun stuff. I do like art, I do like graphic designing and stuff like that. But I gotta realize that there's a certain reality of what I like. I'm the sort of person to talk about real stuff and real things within the moment. Some people may not want that because they might want to feel distracted. That's fine. But with me, I like to be honest. I like to just talk about things that I like to do, like to enjoy, or even just politics or something that's real, something that is potentially real, or even a theory or something like that. It's something exciting because at the end of the day, it's something brand new. It's something that you could just talk about. Now, some people have this sort of persona, but you don't see them all the time. And for me, I'd rather not be famous, yeah, for the sake of doing something that I don't like. I'd rather, like, do the stuff that I love, being to a minimal, count. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'd rather not drain myself out like those people out there having to build this persona for themselves, only for it to be completely destroyed with like allegations and all these other things. It's like, I don't get it. I feel like with that, it gets like the whole ego down to your head. Because let's say, for example, Low Tier God. Like, Low Tier God, he's a funny dude, but I just wish he was generally joking with the things that he was saying. I mean, most of the things that he was saying was practically a joke, yeah. But then there were some other things that, went down a whole rabbit hole and it was quite nasty. Like that, for instance, is something that I wouldn't want to deal with. That's something that, if I had to build a persona off of just raging and stuff like that, just to be funny, I'd rather be funny, honestly, just by raging than it is straight up being completely true with certain other things that may not comply with life. I feel like with life, you got to enjoy it first. Like, you can't just sort of argue or fight with some things. It's just like that's just the way of life. Like sometimes you gotta enjoy things to sort of have more passion to go through with it. You get what I'm trying to say? Like even me, I'm not even bothered to edit because I got a hellhole at home. Like I got stuff that just doesn't want to understand me, and I rather not understand that social thing that doesn't understand me. There's no point of arguing with that. Like imagine sitting with a person, you explain to them, I got this thing going on, and they just don't care. They only care about what they say. But then when they ask, okay, do you want to talk about anything? You're sitting there like, what's the point? You're not gonna hear me out. You're not gonna care. So why not just leave me be in my own peace? Some people will never leave you at your own peace. And that's the matter of like questioning because sometimes you gotta realize, okay, there's a certain time period where you're gonna start leaving, start doing things independently. And with me, I rather like realize that now and sort of look at it and be like, okay, this is the reality and this is the truth that I'm going to come with. Like if I'm gonna be honest with myself and enjoy the things I love, like vlogging and doing personal things or even event channels like this one, like right here, to be honest, it's just one of them things that I'd rather do because I enjoy doing that thing. I enjoy doing that thing. Like I rather not deal with, the stereotypes of like what society has out there or certain people like me or like I don't know, certain people of them. People are people. I met different people of all shades and all tones and everybody has been lovely so far. Some people, not so much. One dude I can name off, he's not the sweetest, he's not the nicest, he doesn't care about what I do. But in a sense, it's like you gotta realize there's gonna be people like that. There's gonna be like one out of 100 of your friends or something like that that doesn't like you, that truly does not like you. So you may believe that they're your friend, but in reality, they're not seeing eye to eye with you. But I will not fight. I will not fight whatsoever to waste time on that sort of thing. Whether that means it's personal drama, something that you just dislike, don't agree, I'd rather have it to a certain degree where it's just calm, mature, and just live on with life. Because at the end of the day, the sun is shining, bro. Like I rather go outside and just relax, bro. Like I don't care about problems. A lot of people will make some sort of problem or drama online just to build clout. But then you don't realize that's building some sort of problem with your fan base or your viewer count or whatever. With me, I don't know, I just do vent stuff and I want to do a podcast eventually, but I don't know how that's gonna work. All of it is in the nick of time. Like, I gotta get equipment, I gotta get all these other things. But I trust in my own timing to not mess up my whole ego. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, some people will be willing to sort of sabotage their whole personality, the real them, and sort of, I don't know, like, go along with it. Now, I feel like with Ishow Speed, he builds a persona that's not even that bad. Like, as much as he's crazy and all that other stuff, there's two things. You got the streamer side and you got him, the Darren. Like, Darren. Like, come on. You gotta notice this. Like, there's certain moments where he's obviously joking about, he's confident and stuff like that. He starts doing the most bizarre stuff because he's Ishow Speed. But then there's a certain side of him that's completely honest, which I appreciate. There's certain people like that. They'll go out of the way to just show, the real them. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, there's certain people like that that you can also appreciate and sort of build a nice sort of loyal thing towards. You get what I'm trying to say? And oh my god, I gotta stop saying you get what I'm trying to say. Like that's probably like one count or two counts or three counts. Anyways, my point is that like generally you gotta sort of be honest with yourself. When you're doing something, maybe like applying for a job application, be honest, because then it won't be draining. It will not be draining whatsoever. Like with me, I felt the need to do a lot of things at once yesterday, and I couldn't even do a video. I couldn't do none of that. I mean, I got to do one TikTok, but that's about it, really. I didn't get to do streaming. I didn't get to do none. But then I realized just me being honest with what I truly like brought me something that is completely, brand new, reshaped in a form that is completely beautiful, I guess. In some shape or form, this thing brought me some sort of honesty and reminded me so much of like how I relax so much from like my goal. Like with my goal, I always just become a really honest dude. That's another thing that's just like relaxing. Cause then you really know when you're in a safe environment, Like you can be honest, sort of say the stuff that you need to say, or the stuff that you shouldn't say, and go along with it. And life is just like that sometimes. You gotta realize that there's certain things that you gotta keep control of so that you don't fall off like certain people. And which I'm not gonna name again, to be honest. I feel like that would be a bit offensive, which I don't wanna do that because I'm a small channel. God knows what's gonna happen to me. Like the IRS comes to my door or something because Sneeko decided to put like a file or something, I don't know, a lawsuit on me. Anyways, that's besides the point. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to deal with that either. I'd rather do the things that I like and enjoy. So with me, it's just I plan to do a lot of things. You should do the same as well. Like think about it as soon as you click off this video and think, okay, you know what? There's a moment in time that I should do this or do that. But be myself because it's not gonna be that draining. Some people that I know are always really honest with themselves and just be themselves around me. And I'm calm with that. I'm cool with that. Because then that just makes me feel more comfortable. And that's the matter of fact. Like, every human being connects to a certain emotional level. Body language is one of the biggest things that a human being can communicate with. Because when you realize somebody's comfortable with you, they're not tense, they're not twitchy, they're not nothing like that. They don't feel like they need to sort of rush with anything. And it's just natural. I feel like with me, I'd rather be in that degree and sort of, make a persona for myself. Because even when I came to like streaming, I was like thinking, should I be the sort of person that rages a lot? I don't know. Like it was one of them things where it's just like it was at the back of my mind. I was like thinking, should I do it? Should I not do it? Like me, I'm funny when I rage, but it's not the sort of thing I should be doing with this video. I mean, if it was like little jokes now and then, I don't mind it. That's me being honest. But then to sort of be a person that rages is a headache. Because when I started doing something like that for a little bit, because I started playing this game, I started raging a lot. And my lord, I was completely drained. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. But that teaches you something. That teaches you like a limit to sort of go and say, okay, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just be me and enjoy what I do. Because there's certain people that are being them and getting a lot. I look at it every single day and go, I like that. Because at the end of the day, it's not draining. It's not emotionally damaging. It's something that you can sort of go along with. And some people just destroy themselves for clout. But that's besides the point. You gotta remember, as a person that enjoys things, you can't judge on other people's upbringing because they might be suffering too. Like, to some degree, maybe you might not know the full story, but at least with me, what I choose to do is just focus on myself, my own element. I can't go around hating on people, going in their comment section, just hating. I mean, that's your choice, obviously. With me, I just feel like I'd rather keep my own space, my own foundation on this little idea that I'm doing. Because then I might bring something to myself, an upbringing and a persona that's honestly true, which is just me. Nothing to worry about, nothing to complain about, something that I can sort of build off a certain foundation. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna stop here because I've reached my limit of talking. I yap too much. So, anyways, I want you guys to remember that this video is just specifically to be honest with yourself. Look at other things and look at the flaws and think, okay, you know what? Let's learn from them flaws. Let's not judge the person, but let's learn from this perspective because it might be draining, it might be this or that. And it's one of them things that you gotta learn. It's one of them things you gotta sort of grow with. You know what I'm trying to say? You gotta sort of build a peace. The more that you have less problems, the better, honestly. Like, it's one of them things that you need. But anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. I think I'm gonna end up talking a lot more if I just say stuff. But yeah. Bye bye, you lot, and see you in the next one.